Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the 4-game NBA preseason slate on Wednesday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking down NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports, daily fantasy sports sites. I want to thank you guys so much for the support recently. It has been absolutely crazy. We hit 800 concurrent viewers on the live stream today, so thank you again. I cannot say that enough, guys. Really do appreciate the support. If you guys do like this content, if you could leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos, you don't want to go live. As always, I'll be live 45 minutes before lock-in. With the preseason especially, live stream is very important to go over all the news. Let's try to aim for 300 likes in this video. Is that possible? Let's aim for it. Let's aim high. So let's try to get 300 likes if you guys enjoyed this content. Again, it's been a really good preseason so far. For myself and a lot of viewers, we've had basically takedowns every single night. So let's see if we can continue it. If you guys cannot watch these videos, I do upload an Apple Podcast. The link is in the description below to the DK DFS show. And finally, I should probably have it up, but I want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring the show. If you guys are not familiar with PrizePicks, it's a site where you can bet on player props. Right now, they don't have them up yet, but basically you're betting over/under on player projections. You can bet anywhere from 2 to 5 times and win up to 10x your money. So if you guys want to sign up, you can use the code DKDFS. That's DKDFS, all one word. I'll have a link in the description below. You get 100% match up to $100. So you put $100 in, you get $200 to play with. It's a win-win. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So before we talk about players and their prices for this 4-game slate, let's take a look at my lineups here for from Tuesday. So Tuesday, this is my main lineup with De'Aaron Fox, James Harden, Vassell, Robert Williams, Embiid, Steph Curry, Bazemore, and Rashawn Holmes. Now, in the last spot, I was debating between Holmes, between Chris, and Looney. I got asked that question probably 50 times on Twitter, and I told you guys, it was basically a coin flip. Now, we never really got fully confirmation that Chris was playing. Like, someone said he's probably going to play, like, a beat writer said 4 hours ago, but, like, I asked on Twitter, we never got that confirmation, so I played Chris in the showdown slate at low ownership, because, again, I wasn't fully convinced he was playing. If he was, I would have put him in the main slate lineup, but we just never got that confirmation, and this was my late slate lineup. So I have a lot of players in that late game. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm kind of on the edge of cashing, but again, I have a lot of guys in the late game. The core I included was Embiid, Steph Curry, Rashawn Holmes, and Robert Williams. Joel Embiid, I knew the risk. He absolutely smashed in, I think, 16 minutes. And I said there's a decent chance he doesn't play in the second half. Well, Doc Rivers played everyone but Embiid in the second half. You can tell. I'm really happy about that. No, but in all seriousness, like, I knew that was a risk. But really, like, he plays Simmons, he plays Tobias Harris in the second half. Give me the second half minutes for Embiid. Got Embiid at like 20% ownership. If he plays that second half, he goes for over 40. So, yeah, unfortunate there that he didn't get any second half run. But again, that's how it goes sometimes with the preseason. So we'll see how it finishes up. I hope you guys had a good night as well. And let's talk about some basketball. Excited. We got a nice 4-game slate here. So let me exit out of this. We already have it up on this screen. All right, so 4 games. What I want to do is take a look at each of these teams in their most recent game to kind of see how the minutes were distributed. Again, we don't have an amazing idea. What we kind of know is LeBron, AD are not going to play in the second half, and that's all we have really confirmed at the moment. So again, a lot of things can change. That's why it's important to follow me on Twitter, guys. That'll be in the description below, as well as check out the live stream. Live stream, the most important to go over everything. Also, give you guys a core in there as well that I will build around. So, Cleveland in their most recent game, well, Kevin Love was out. A lot of their guards were out as well, and we don't have confirmation that they're playing it, like Sexton, Kevin Porter Jr., Osman, all 3 status up in the air. Kevin Love's also status up in the air, so they were pretty thin that last game. They played Drummond 23 minutes. He crushed in that time. The rookie, Isaac Okoro, has been getting a good run, but if a good amount of those guys come back, I feel like the minutes will go down. Again, Garland got decent minutes as well. Exum had a good game off the bench. So right now, Cleveland is kind of wait and see, right? Because there's a lot of guys status up in the air. If all these guys are out again, let's just say that. If Love is out, if Sexton is out, Nance, I think, is already confirmed out. Dellavedova is already confirmed out. If Kevin Porter Jr. and C.D. Osman are all out, so say all those guys that question mark are out, then I really like Drummond at 7.5 just because, again, who else is going to score the ball for this team? And the matchup's great here against New York, so Drummond would be one of my favorite spend-ups if all these guys are out once again for Cleveland. And Drummond played, 23 minutes? I think the minutes probably go up a bit here in this one, maybe to like the high 20s. I think this might be the last or the one more preseason game. And then, other options, right, with Garland, guys like Exum, these guys, Okoro, potential value if all these guys rest. So we got to wait and see. Even Dotson's been getting good minutes. So there is definitely potential value here. Windler off the bench. So again, Cleveland wait and see approach, but if all these guys are out again, you look to Drummond at the top, and then there is a decent amount of value here for guys that would get good minutes. On the New York side, so let's take a look at their minutes in the most recent game. The two guys that played the most by far, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, 36 and 32 minutes apiece. No one else played more than like low 20s. Obi Toppin, the rookie, played 24 minutes. So looking at the prices, Randle's at 6.6, R.J. Barrett's at 5.5. Both are just too cheap. Now, can we expect that again? It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in the preseason, but 32 and 36 minutes? That's like amazing for the preseason. And the matchup is good here against the Cavs. So I really like Randle in mid-range. I really like RJ Barrett. They're just way too cheap if they're going to get like mid-30s minutes. So, those two are two of my favorite plays right now in the mid-range. Alfred Payton, the minutes went way down on him. Unfortunate for the people that played him last game because in the first game he played like 29 minutes. This game only 18. So, everyone else on this team are more risky options just because of how the minutes were distributed the last game. Now, there's definitely some potential value here at center, right, with Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel. Both guys, in the last game, Mitchell Robinson played 19, Nerlens Noel played 21. They ran a little bit of Randle at the center, so that's why Noel, like in the first game, Noel and Mitchell Robinson split 48 minutes down the middle. In this game, they lost a little bit to Randle playing the 5, even a bigger boost to Randle, right? But Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, both are good point per minute guys. Both are very good shot blockers, so they're both in play for value. Below that, though, there's not really a ton I'm interested in. So it's Randle for me. It's RJ Barrett, my two favorite plays. I think you can look to Mitchell Robinson and Noel for value as well. Let's take a look at Chicago and OKC. So first on the Chicago side, we got some good minutes for some of these guys. Lauri Markkanen, 26 in their most recent game. Otto Porter, 24. Wendell Carter Jr., 23. Kobe White played 32. Zach LaVine played 27. The rookie Patrick Williams on the bench played 28. So, this is good news, right? If we're going to get over 30 minutes for some of these guys, that's really, really good for the preseason. So Zach LaVine at 7.4, Kobe White at 7K. I like quite a bit. I like them both quite a bit. LaVine is probably slightly the better point per minute guy, probably slightly the better scorer still at the moment, but Kobe White probably gets a few extra minutes. Again, he was really good that last game, 20 points, 5 assists, 3 boards. Both these guys can fill up the stat sheet. Again, the offense kind of runs through the guards here with LaVine and Kobe White. So I do like both of them quite a bit here, kind of in, mid-range, higher mid-range with LaVine and Kobe White. Again, two plays I like a good amount. Markkanen 6.5, not as excited just because, again, he can be kind of scoring dependent as a big. Seems priced about right. The rookie, I don't know why I keep saying Patrick Williams, 6K, that's a little pricey for me too. Otto Porter Jr. did play 24 minutes, but I would just rather get to White and LaVine for a little bit more. No Satoransky still. Now, Wendell Carter Jr. at 5.1 actually does intrigue me. He's a guy they've been wanting him to shoot threes. In the first game, he was like 0 of 6, but that does raise his upside a bit if he can knock down a couple of these threes. He's a good shot blocker. He's a good rebounder, right? He played 23 minutes. He had 7.6 boards, 3 assists. So definitely in play for value. So that's kind of how I rank him. I would go LaVine and White at the top, and then Wendell Carter Jr. is a cheap play. Below that, would I play anyone? I mean, you could look to a guy like Ryan Arcidiacono. I'm probably not going to do it, but with no Satoransky, he should get a lot of the backup point guard duty. So Arcidiacono's at the flat min, but I'm not like super, super excited about that one. All right, let's talk about OKC. So OKC in the first game, they were missing a lot of guys. So SGA only played the first half, unfortunately, because he was crushing in that first half. Same thing with Muscala, didn't play or only played the first half, and George Hill, I believe, only played the first half. Diallo, Roby, the younger guys played into the second half. Frank Jackson, another good point per guy, got some decent minutes. Well, now they're a little bit more healthy, right? So they have Horford back, they have Bazley back, they have Dort back. So they do have some more pieces in the offense. I still like SGA at 6'2". Like, he is the alpha in this offense, and I think he does play into the second half, right? So if we get like 25 to 30 minutes at SGA, they just don't have a ton of other options that can score the ball. So at the moment, I really like him in the mid-range. Like right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the balanced approach for this slate. There's just a lot of good plays in the 5, 6, 7K range. SGA, one of them at 6'2". Really, really like him at the moment. A reason out with the team. Horford at 5K, got to monitor this because I know he's old. He's 34. How many minutes does he play? If he starts and plays like 20 to 25 minutes, I actually like him because like him playing the center, he's a good point per minute guy. When Embiid was out last year, like Horford is still has some left in the tank. And the matchup's good against Wendell Carter Jr., so this is something we'll have to monitor. I'm a little bit worried because, again, he's 34 years old. I don't think they're going to run him out there a ton. But if we can get like 20 to 25 minutes out of Horford against Wendell Carter Jr., I do like him quite a bit. I love attacking Wendell Carter Jr., really bad defender. We saw it with Boogie, right? Absolutely abused him in the first game. Bazley and Dort at 4'9" and 4'6" respectively are both in play for value too. Both had some decent roles there last year, even in the playoffs. Dort was nailing some threes. Bazley got some decent run as well. Both these guys are actually decent value plays. Diallo, not as excited now. I still think he's viable, but I think he takes a backseat to guys like Dort, guys like Bazley. The veteran George Hill is at the flat min. So this is the same thing I'll say about Al Horford, right? If we can guarantee that Horford and George Hill are going to play 25 minutes, then they're just too cheap. But those are the two I'm weary about because, again, they're veterans. I could see them being limited. Below that, I don't think I play anyone else. Again, Frank Jackson at the min price, I will mention him again just because he's a really, really good point per minute guy. In that last game, he played 24 minutes. He had 14 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. So I think Frank Jackson, a viable punt, but how many minutes does he get is a little bit more in question with them, with OKC being more healthy in this one. Let's talk about Portland and Denver. So Portland's been running some weird rotations. This was in their most recent game here. Nurkic, CJ Lillard, barely playing. 13, 14, and 13 minutes. So at the moment, it's a full fade for me for Portland, but things could change, right? We could get news that they're going to play this like a dress rehearsal, and then obviously I would like them more. But at the moment, I'm passing on Lillard, I'm passing on CJ, I'm passing on Nurkic. The other options here on Portland, well, Covington got extended a bit. Same with Derek Jones Jr., at their respective prices, Covington's at 6K, Jones Jr.'s at 5'9". I feel like they're a little bit priced up, and I don't think like Nurkic, CJ, and Lillard play like 13 minutes. I would say the minutes do go up, but again, by how much is the question. So yeah, Jones Jr. has been having some good games because a lot of the high usage guys have not been out on the court. So I think this might be one where people chase Jones Jr. I think I'm going to look elsewhere. The other options on Portland. So if we take a look at the other minutes here. Giles is a guy I've liked in both slates where we got him at super, super low ownership. Helped a lot of people to win big tournaments the first night when he was super, super low owned. I got off him in this game, and I know a lot of people did as well because we got news that Nurkic was starting, and obviously Kanter's the backup. So I figured, how many minutes is Giles going to get? I don't think he's going to play a ton. I got off him. Well, he plays 26 minutes and absolutely crushes again. Now, just be a little bit weird with Giles because, again, I think they only have one preseason game left. So, like, they might play this closer to a dress rehearsal, and he is their third string big. So, just be careful here. I think the minutes could be limited, but you never know. Like, if they continue this playing Nurkic, CJ, Lillard 12 minutes a game, then Giles is one of my favorite value plays. So hopefully we'll get some sort of confirmation on what the starters' minutes will be. Kanter at 4-4, well, he's the backup big. Again, he's a good point per minute guy. I expect about 15-ish minutes actually in play if you need someone super cheap. Right in the last game, in 13 minutes, he had 8 points, 4 boards. So, yeah, potential value there. And that's really it. I know Melo's been playing well at 6'4", but I don't think I'm going to get to him at that price. On the Denver side, so Denver and their starters actually got a decent run, like low to mid-20s. Murray 24, Harris 24, Jokic 23, who crushed in that time. Millsap 22, Michael Porter Jr. 23. Campazzo off the bench played 24. PJ Dozier played 18. Bull only played 6. That was actually a little bit frustrating. I thought he would get more minutes, but didn't get a ton, so don't think we can consider him. Let's take a look at the Denver prices. Jokic at 8.6. I think if you can feel comfortable with enough value, then you can definitely get to Jokic. At the moment, I'm liking a little bit more of the balanced approach, right? A lot of good plays in the 5, 6, and 7K range, but if you can fit the value in there, if there's enough value that opens up, right? Potential value here with Cleveland. We mentioned some other value. Then Jokic is a guy that, again, he can crush in like 25 minutes. Really, really good point per minute guy. Michael Porter Jr. a little bit too pricey with everyone healthy. They have Will Barton back too, so I'm avoiding MPJ. I'm not going to Will Barton his first game back. I'm passing on Millsap and Harris. Jamal Murray's the other guy, like 6.1K. I know they're now like fully healthy, but he is still, it's him. The offense is Murray, it's Jokic. And we know like Jamal Murray can get hot and put up a ton of fantasy points in a short amount of time. Now, I guess the one downside at times with Murray, he can be a little bit scoring dependent for a point guard, but I think that is too cheap if he gets like mid-20s minutes. And then off the bench, again, Campazzo played decent minutes. What did he get? He got like 24 minutes. But will he get that again? I'm not fully convinced. PJ Dozier, I like that. Again, he's a high-usage guy. He actually didn't have an amazing game, though. He, in 18 minutes, had 7 points, 1 rebound. I think that's a little bit more of an outlier for PJ Dozier. I think people will avoid him. I still think Dozier is potential value here or there if you need someone super, super cheap. But let's move on to the last game here. Lakers, Suns. So what we know with the Lakers is LeBron, AD, they're only going to play the first half. So I'm not getting into either. LeBron at 9.6, AD at 9.4. They're fades for me. Schroeder at 7.1. I don't think I'm going to get to either. I just prefer some other plays. Like, he'll get decent run and probably play into the second half as well. But, his first half minutes are going to be alongside super, super high usage guys. So I'm not as excited about Schroeder. Now, Harrell coming off the bench, I think you can make the argument for. Because, he'll play in the first half. Again, same thing with Schroeder. He'll be playing alongside high usage guys. But he's an energy guy. He can get you the rebounds, the putbacks. I still think he's viable. I do think he plays into the second half. So I actually have some interest in Harrell. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but I think he's still in play. Now, the guys, like Kuzma and Horton Tucker, who have been riding the first couple of games because they've been so shorthanded, are still in play. Same thing I'll say about Schroeder with Kuzma, right? He's going to get decent minutes in the first half, but again, he'll be playing alongside LeBron, AD, who demand all the usage in that offense. So, his first half minutes aren't going to be super productive, but I could see him playing a ton in the second half. Same thing with Horton Tucker. So, this is a tricky one because, I like Horton Tucker. I like Kuzma. Can they smash in the second half? I think they can. But, how productive are they in the first half? So this one's a tricky one with some of these secondary pieces for the Lakers because, again, the first half minutes, a lot of them are going to be alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. And then below that, there's probably not anyone else I would look to. So, there's potential plays like with Horton Tucker, with Kuzma, with Harrell, but they're going to have to be pretty productive in the second half. I do think they get a good run in the second half. Again, it's a good matchup too against Phoenix, so they are still in play. They're not smash plays because LeBron and AD are playing, but they're still viable. And again, I think they could have some good success there in the second half. Lastly, let's finish up with Phoenix. So Phoenix starters got decent run. Booker 28, 8 and 25. The rookie Jalen Smith played 23. Mikal Bridges played 29. Javon Carter played 25 minutes. He was a popular vet. He was like 50% owned in the slam. I luckily avoided him because I didn't need someone that cheap. And I think he finished with 4 fantasy points in 25 minutes. So how is that even possible? Like, what? I don't get it. But yeah, back to the main guys here for Phoenix. So Booker at 8.5. I think more of a contrarian play at that price. I just prefer some other guys for a little bit cheaper. Chris Paul at 7.8, I'll pass as well. They limited him to 12 minutes. Now, Ayton, on the other hand, at 6.9, I actually like that price on him. I like the matchup here, too, against the Lakers. Like, Gasol, sure, will play a little bit, but I don't expect him to play a ton. So Ayton, like, in the second half against, like, Montrez, Harrell, or whoever else to try to throw on him, like, Ayton could have a nice day, especially if the minutes go up. Again, he's a young guy, right? It was third year, right, in the league. So I could see him getting pushed for 30 minutes in this one at 6.9K. Definitely someone I'm looking to in the mid-range. Mikal Bridges at 5.9 is fine, but he's not a super high usage guy. Again, kind of dependent on scoring at times here. And below that, I probably don't get to anyone. Like, if Jalen Smith starts again if Cam Johnson's out, where's Cam Johnson? He missed that last game. We'll see. Sarge missed the last game, I believe, as well. And Jay Crowder played, right? Crowder did not play either. So got to monitor that. If all those guys are out again, you could look to the rookie Jalen Smith. He got okay run at 4K. He started. He played 23 minutes. So, yeah, potential value there if all those guys are out once again for Phoenix. But I think that's going to do it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when to upload videos, you know when to go live. Again, as always, guys, I want to hammer this down, but follow me on Twitter and check out the live stream 45 minutes before lock. Make sure you don't miss. Thanks again. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow in the live stream.